Welcome back to the vlog. It's actually been a few days since I last updated you guys, but I'm now in Hiroshima. I think last I left off was just driving into Matsuyama. So in the morning I got up and went to a park. I just had a nice chill morning in the park, read my book, got some cool footage of a kingfisher, which I'll pop in the video here. It was really cool to see that. And then drove to Takamatsu. Had one night in Takamatsu, which was last night, and it was pretty rubbish weather this morning, so I didn't actually end up doing anything in Takamatsu. But yeah, here in Hiroshima now, back on the vlogs, and I'm excited to check out this castle. So as I'm walking up to the castle here, it's worth noting this is obviously not the original castle. I mean, most of them that we've been seeing aren't the originals as is, but of course this one was destroyed by the atomic bomb in 1945, as pretty much the entire city was. So this was reconstructed in the late 50s. But interestingly, just walking through the grounds there, walked past a tree that was tied up and supported, and a sign on it that actually said this survived the atom bomb in 1945. So pretty incredible to see that tree survived. But so unfortunately I missed out on being able to go in the castle today. It just closed right as I got here, but interestingly this one is stained timber, so you can see it's brown, unlike the other castles we've seen, which have all been painted white. So just here this is another one of the trees that had survived the bombing, which is really insane to think about. So I'm just standing over, you can see the castle over there, and there's this sign here. So this is the same image I'm looking at here, and you can see the absolute destruction. And there, no castle. It's just completely gone. So it wasn't just blown away, it caught fire. And this sign here is saying that a lot of people actually drowned trying to swim into the moat to get away from the fire. Not too sure what's going on here, but there's a koi party. Look at them all. And they're all coming to say hello. One thing I certainly didn't appreciate enough before coming to Japan was just how big the koi fish got. But some of them are massive. They're like 2 feet long. Never realised they got anywhere near that big. As I'm walking through the city here, it's kind of crazy to think about the fact that 70 years ago none of this was here. Like, everything was flattened after the bomb hit. So all of the buildings I'm walking past have been built in the last 70 years. So the reconstruction effort to rebuild the city would have been massive. I think now it's got a population of about 2 million people. So this is pretty cool. I'm just at Edion Peace Wing Hiroshima Stadium, which is where Sanfrecce play. I've just bought myself a scarf to add to my collection, but I can actually walk into the stadium, which is pretty cool. I'll have to look up the attendance here. It doesn't look particularly big. It'd be smaller than Amy Park, I think, but yeah, pretty cool. I'm really hoping to be able to catch a game at some stage while I'm in Japan. Looks like they've got the Japanese Cup is starting up, so I should be able to hopefully catch some games in Tokyo while I'm here. But yeah, pretty cool to be able to see the stadium.
6 hours later.
Good morning. Welcome to day 2 here in Hiroshima. So explored the castle a little bit yesterday and the stadium. and this morning I'm going to get checked out of the hotel and then going to go have a bit more of a look around some of the war stuff. So there's the bomb dome, which is one of the few buildings that was left standing, and there's a memorial and a museum and stuff. So I'm going to go have a walk around there this morning and have a look around, and then this afternoon I'll be off to Himeji. So let's get checked out and then grab some breakfast, and then we'll get down and get exploring. So I've just been walking around Hiroshima here and walking through the Peace Park, and this area there's monuments and stuff everywhere, because right where I'm standing now was pretty much where the bomb hit. So two of the only structures to have remained are the hall here. So this is known as the A-bomb dome, obviously the dome on top of the hall. So that was a prefectural hall, which they had fairs and exhibitions and stuff at. And this bridge here, also remained. It was obviously badly damaged like the dome was, but these two buildings, or these two structures, remained because the bomb pretty much blew up 600 meters above where I'm standing now. And because of most of the force goes sideways, they were left largely intact, because there's not as much force coming down as there is going out. Some of the things you see here are incredibly confronting. Just behind me over here, there was a big dome which acts as a memorial and actually a burial site. Underneath the dome are the ashes of tens of thousands of bodies of the victims that were killed here in the bomb. It's so hard to get your head around. 80,000 people were killed basically instantly. This flame here, similar to our eternal flame at our shrine in Melbourne, this flame has remained burning until all nuclear warheads in the world have been destroyed, and all countries have agreed to never use nuclear combat again in war. So I've just finished visiting the War Memorial Museum, and wow, it was an incredibly interesting and fascinating experience, but it was really hard. Yeah, a lot of what you see in there is extremely confronting and very, very graphic, and I mean that's the idea. They want to share how horrific this all was. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit of a loss of what to say, but it was an incredible experience. Very glad I did it. Fascinating to learn about the history and what happened here, but absolutely horrific. Back in the car now and off to Himeji. So that brings my time in Hiroshima to a wrap. Yeah, that was a really fascinating thing to explore, both the museum and the parks and everything around. Really fascinating, but also really, really hard. So I'm glad I did it. I think it's something that is important that people do if they can while they're in Japan. But yeah, it was very interesting, but also very hard. So anyway, off to Himeji now. I've got a 3.5 hour drive roughly to get there, and I've got 2 nights in Himeji, so that'll be nice. Well, I might wrap there for the day. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.